That. So thank you guys for all coming here today and talking about a policy that has been that is near and dear to a lot of our hearts in order to keep Floridians protected from harm, and that is illegal immigration. Illegal immigration has been plaguing this nation for the better part of 40 years. Before President Trump made it a central platform of his campaign in 2016, both Democrats and Republican administrators, both of them, wanted absolutely no part in fixing the system. In fact, any time that there was a policy proposal to try to fix it, it never actually got done. Decades and decades of both parties refusing to fix a system that was obviously broken and effectuating more and more illegal immigrants from coming over to our shores, which did nothing but put strain on our communities, strain on the system, invite criminal aliens. This needed to come to an end. And over the years, neglect and dereliction turned into welcoming and subsidizing. Government at all levels, federal, state, and local, created magnets, thereby incentivizing more and more illegal immigration. This all came to a head with the Biden administration's de facto open borders policies, coupled with ridiculous taxpayer-funded government programs that not only incentivized illegal immigrants to evade border control, but also made them comfortable in doing so. In many states, illegal immigrants can receive free health care, free education, free legal advice, food stamps, driver's licenses, auto insurance, and even law degrees. You have to ask yourself the question, why would an illegal immigrant want to wait, or an immigrant want to wait 10 years and spend $50,000 to come here legally when they can give $10,000 to the drug cartels, come here illegally, and get all of the benefits of a legal citizen? While Biden and his cronies allowed illegal immigration to wreak havoc on our country, Florida understood that any incentive for illegal immigration had to be removed, and we had to be bold, absolutely bold, and lead the charge, leading this nation against these open border policies. And that's why we in the state of Florida chose to lead, and chose to lead aggressively. We enhanced criminal penalties for human smuggling and added human smuggling to the list of crimes allowed for prosecution under Florida's RICO Act. We made it a state crime to enter Florida illegally. We stopped the issuance of driver's licenses and community IDs given to illegal immigrants. We implemented mandatory DNA testing for illegals who commit crimes. We mandated hospitals start tracking how much money we were spending on delivering health care to illegal immigrants in our communities. We stopped in-state tuition for higher education for illegal immigrants. We mandated businesses use E-Verify. We mandated, along with our law enforcement partners, that allowed the assisting of federal law enforcement with our 287G program, partially why we're here today. And we also banned sanctuary cities. Now, many leftist politicians are protecting these criminal aliens by voting for sanctuary policies and creating sanctuary jurisdictions. Now, the easiest way to get rid of these sanctuary policies is to maybe charge the politicians as an accessory to the crime when an illegal immigrant commits sanctuary crimes in their sanctuary jurisdictions that they actually voted for. That would stop it real quick. I am personally tired of hearing the stories of angel moms that have lost a child because of ridiculous pro-illegal immigration policies and pro-illegal immigration rulings by activist judges. Personally, I think that if a pro-amnesty judge lets an illegal immigrant go free, and then we later find out that that illegal immigrant committed a heinous crime, such as a rape, a child rape, or murder, then that judge should be removed from the bench, and she or he should lose their pension because of it. Families have suffered enough from the dangerous consequences of illegal immigration, so we decided to create a blueprint for other states to follow to ensure safety and security of our citizens. That's why I propose legislation again this year to keep our foot on the gas and further disincentivize illegal immigration. I am proud to say that my proposed legislation has been filed and it is working its way currently through the legislature. This legislation will prohibit all commercial driver's licenses, pre-license, instructing, testing, and licensing procedures to be given in any other language but English. English only. If you're going to be driving on our roads, you need to be able to read the signs. It will remove illegal aliens as covered employees in the workers' compensation statute. Unbelievably, it's there in the plain text that illegal immigrants, regardless of immigration status, can receive workers' comp benefits. I think that is an incentive for businesses to hire illegal immigrants, and we are here to get rid of those incentives. It will force any company that actually hires illegal aliens to pay out of pocket for any injuries. So if you are a business and you have an illegal immigrant that you are employing illegally, and that person, illegal immigrant, gets hurt on the job, why should the workers' comp system actually pay for you breaking the law and having an advantage over other companies? It doesn't make any sense. So our proposal says that if you're a business and you hire an illegal immigrant and they get hurt, the system doesn't pay, you pay. You have to be on the hook for the health care for that illegal immigrant. We'll get them all back up healthy, and then we're going to send them back home because they weren't supposed to be here in the first place. It requires companies to use E-Verify in order to submit a workers' compensation claim. We do not want to pay workers' compensation to illegal immigrants, especially if you're hiring them. So before we pay out a claim, we should run it through the system to make sure that they were eligible to be here in the country working legally in the first place. And the use of illegal IDs from sanctuary states to open bank accounts and cashier's checks. This is how they get money back to the drug cartels that brought them over, human smuggling them over, especially the southern border, in the first place. They will make money, then they will have their fake ID, they will walk into a bank and get a cashier's check or a money order, and then send it back to the drug cartels who, as payback for bringing them over illegally in the first place. We need to hit them where it hurts financially, and stop the flow of money back to the drug cartels. It will ban illegal aliens from benefiting from down payment assistance programs and prevents illegal aliens from receiving silent second home mortgages. Now, this is not done in the state of Florida, not yet. We want to put it in law to make sure that it never happens here in the state of Florida. Why? Because California does that. California and other states that have sanctuary jurisdictions actually offer incentives for illegal immigrants to purchase homes. We think that's wrong. So are we worried about this happening in the state of Florida right now? No. Could it happen in the future? Who knows what leadership would be like in the future? But if it's in law, companies that insure illegal aliens using outdated driver's licenses to fully accept the financial burden of a car accident involving an illegal immigrant. Illegal immigrants actually get car insurance, auto insurance, as unbelievable as that sounds. There are other states, such as California, that proudly give driver's license to illegal immigrants. We think that that's wrong. But unbeknownst to us, there are actually insurance companies that will go out and market to the illegal immigrants, giving them auto insurance. Now, if you're a driver in California and you actually make it over to the state of Florida with your illegal driver's license, we don't recognize that anyway. But if you happen to do that and you get into an auto accident here in the state of Florida, even though we are a no-fault state, we think it is good policy that the illegal immigrant is automatically at fault, and their insurance company should pay, because the illegal immigrant should not have been on the road in the first place. And today, we're going to break a little bit of news here. We are announcing an additional piece of legislation that we are hoping will be amended onto that bill. We are proposing to extend Florida's HALO law protections to federal law enforcement officers also. Currently, Florida's HALO law is one of the most pro-law enforcement protection laws in the nation, protecting state and local first responders from being harassed, threatened, or interfered with while working and making arrests. Anyone who disobeys warnings from first responders in our law enforcement and remains within 25 feet of our law enforcement can be charged with a second-degree misdemeanor. These same protections, we believe, should be applied to our federal law enforcement partners also. So if you have ICE or Homeland Security conducting raids trying to get rid of criminal illegal aliens from your community, in the state of Florida, you will not be able to approach and film. You will not be able to approach and harass. We will put you in jail the same way you would harass these guys behind us. Florida is not Minnesota, and there's a reason why we do not have protesters and agitators blocking our streets and destroying our downtowns. When we say we support law enforcement partners, we mean all of our law enforcement partners, including federal law enforcement. We have spoken with our immigration bill sponsors about this amendment, and we hope to have it filed before our next committee stop. Last year, the governor also signed $250 million in the budget for reimbursements from the state of Florida awarded through the State Board of Immigration Enforcement, which I am proud to be a member of. And this is for reimbursements to all law enforcement agencies for all 287G related activities. Through these reimbursements, the state of Florida is ensuring that every law enforcement agency has the resources that it needs to enforce our nation's laws, immigration laws, and to protect our citizens. Because we know that in order to stop the stem of illegal immigration, you have to create deterrence. You have to get rid of the magnets. And there is no bigger deterrent than these guys standing behind me and the hard work that their brothers and sisters do in our communities, keeping us safe. You know, I was on my way over this morning and I was speaking to someone of my staff, and I said, just think about the change that we've had in this nation, particularly in the state of Florida. Where we were 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, under the Biden administration, and de facto open border policies where they would basically let anyone in, go to the app, give them a date 10 years in the future to show up to an immigration judge, and they would basically just come over willy-nilly, and they would just settle in our communities and basically pull with them a lot of criminals with it also. Just think about where we were to where we are today. If I'm an illegal immigrant, the last place I want to be is the state of Florida, because we're showing that we're serious about this. The last thing I want to do is run into Sheriff Chitwood in Volusia County as an illegal immigrant, because I know he's going to make some videos and put it on social media. True. But just think about that. That is a deterrent. If there's any place an illegal immigrant wants to settle in the nation, the last place they're probably going to look these days is the state of Florida. And that is the intent. The intent is to keep our communities safe. So today we are here to give out 287G reimbursement checks because these guys are doing the hard work. We ask them to partner with federal law enforcement. We ask them to keep our community safe, and these guys are incurring costs, and we are here to give them the checks and reimburse them for all the hard work and the training that we are doing, that they are doing. So when I call your name, please come up for a check and a photo. How we're going to do this, we will call everyone up. We'll step to the side. We'll hold the check. We'll take some pictures, and then we'll go and take one big group photo, and then we'll call them up to make some comments. So the first, Volusia County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Chitwood, for an amount of $334,234,262. If it was $334, he wouldn't have shown up. I'm telling you.
Right, exactly.
He wouldn't show up.
And it doesn't matter how you screw it up if the check against.
Thank you, sir. Next up, Volusia County Corrections Department $505,789. Come on this side. Go. Oh, one more.
Hey, we gotta get that nice suit.
Thank you. I love it.
Actually, let's do this. Santiago, come up here. Just hold it just with your suit. Just go.
Can you hold for a second?
Can you go, you want to go back and? Go. You guys come up back. That suit is causing so many problems, Santiago. Next up, Flagler County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Staly, for an award of $725,874. Look how popular you are, Sheriff.
Look out, Mike.
Flagler's in the house. That's it.
Who's left?
Oh, we need another one? Hold on. Santiago, you want to come up again? City of Daytona Beach Police Department, $133,721. Yes, we have the same barber. All right, I guess we got in the back now. Thank you, sir. Daytona Beach Shores Department of Public Safety, $53,750. Hold on, so yeah.
Not only is David a snappy dresser, he's also good at arranging these photos.
Thank you for coming to our area.
And Holly Hill Police Department, $32,468. Chief. Got it? Awesome. All right, let's all, that's it for the checks. Let's all get together. We'll take one big group photo with the checks. Yeah, there we go. We'll get everyone.
One more minute, sorry.
We got the guys in the back. All right, thank you, guys. On behalf of of myself, my office, the Florida's cabinet, I think I can speak on behalf of our governor, Governor Ron DeSantis, and thank you on behalf of all Floridians in this state. We appreciate everything that you guys do, and just know that we will always stand with our law enforcement partners, making sure that you are given the respect and the resources that you need. Next up, let's give the microphone to Volusia County Sheriff Mike Chitwood. Sheriff.
Thank you, sir. I want to thank the CFO throughout his entire career, his unwavering support for law enforcement and keeping this state one of the safest in America. And I would appreciate, as we go forward, our relationship and what you're doing for us. That's why we're proud to endorse you, by the way. Just a real quick update of what we've done with the money. So of the $334,000 that we have received, $221,000 of that, $100,000 of that have gone to purchase rapid identification fingerprint machines that are tied into ICE's database. So when you come across somebody, they don't have proper ID, you're able to fingerprint them and on the spot get a determination of whether or not that person is here legally and then go forward, or illegally and go forward with the investigation. The rest of the funds have been used to compensate deputies for their training and for when they take part in a ICE operation. So an example of the ICE operation would be since May of 2025, we've participated in 3 ICE operations, including 4 days at Rockville, because if you remember, a couple years ago in Rockville, we had about probably 50 members of the transnational South American organized crime gang, I can't believe I got that right, who infiltrated the Speedway, and we had over 250 victims where they worked the mosh pit and were stealing cell phones and credit cards and then stepping off them out of the mosh pit and charging hundreds of thousands of dollars for technology that was headed back to South America. So just during the ICE operations, we made 94 stops, 75 citations, 21 subjects were turned over to ICE, 27 criminal arrests had been made. Recently, ICE has just given us some warrants that we in law enforcement have never had those before. They've given us warrants. There's approximately 1.4 million warrants for removal in this country. 1.4 million. They've gone through due process. The judge has said, you got to get out of the country. I'll give you 30 days to get out. And they've turned around and said, come get me. So they've given us 33 warrants. We've made 3 arrests on those warrants so far, and they've been turned over to ICE. The problem is some of those warrants date back to 1995. And I'll close with this. I've been doing this for 38 years. Never has law enforcement in my career never cooperated with ICE. We always have. We've always made notifications. Hey, we have this person. We think their immigration is suspect. Here's what they're charged with. And for the most part, the federal government will respond. The 4 years under the Biden administration, they never answered the phone. Never answered the phone. Now, it's different. When you pick up the phone, you get resources immediately to help you do your job, to do what you need. Why should you commit crime over and over and over again and go through all 50 states and nobody takes any action except for local law enforcement? So thank you again.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
You know, the sheriff brings up a very good point, and this was one of our big frustrations with the last administration. These guys never stopped doing their jobs. Our law enforcement partners in the state of Florida never stopped doing their jobs, which was detaining and holding illegal immigrants that were committing crimes. The difference between today and yesterday is that, like Sheriff Chitwood said, they never answered the phone. They weren't there. They weren't helpful. So this was, if you think about it, the Biden administration was a de facto sanctuary administration, right? That it did it across the whole country. Because if you're calling our federal law enforcement partners, ICE and DHS, to come pick up a criminal alien and get them deported, and they didn't, what happens? That criminal alien winds up on the street again and again. And then if they are deported, they have a welcoming mat to come back into the country. And some of the stories that I've heard from some of these angel moms, particularly Representative Cayenne Michael in the legislature, I think the illegal alien that killed her son was a twice deported criminal alien. I mean, how as a community do we stand for that? How does the Biden administration actually think that that's good policy? Unless they're just absolutely out of their mind in terms of the de facto pro-amnesty, pro-sanctuary policy administration that they were. So, you know, I think people who work for the Biden administration owe people like Cayenne Michael and other angel moms a big I'm sorry. because none of that should have ever happened if they did their jobs. We will continue to do our job here in the state of Florida. Next up, Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staly. Sheriff.
So first, I want to thank the State Board of Immigration Enforcement, the legislature, Governor DeSantis, and the cabinet, but especially our CFO, Blaise Ingoglia, for supporting our team and awarding this grant to make Flagler County safer. So let me tell you what that grant does for us. Is it helps us train our deputies to support ICE, purchase technology that not only supports this partnership, but also supports the safety of our community and the safety of our deputies. Just like Sheriff Chitwood, it also allows us to pay them a stipend, both in the jail that are warrant service officers and DIOs, 287G for my law enforcement side. In addition to that, like Sheriff Chitwood, we bought rapid ID technology for our deputies because, believe it or not, people lie to deputy sheriffs. They will give you a false name, and this is leveling the playing field to do that. In addition, our deputies already had body camera, but we could not afford the new Axon Assistant that allows for instant translation in over 50 languages. So we use the money so that now, if you're in our jail, you can communicate with non-English speaking. If you're in the field, you can communicate with non-English speaking on a traffic stop, whatever the case may be, a crime victim. So it allows us to eliminate those language barriers. It allows for us to de-escalate situations when you can't communicate. Things can get escalated. This allows us to de-escalate it when you can communicate. Well, let me just tell you a few cases on why it's so important to keep Florida safe and free. So just in Flagler County, and this is only a small few examples, an illegal Cuban national was just sentenced to 6 years in prison last month after we had arrested him for sexually assaulting a minor in 2025. When he's done serving his sentence, he'll go back to Cuba or wherever ICE wants to send him, but it'll be the hell out of America. Last month, we arrested another Cuban national for felony theft of nearly $4,000 in meat from a Publix grocery store. That affects all of us because as stuff gets stolen, you're paying more for food, in this case, clothing, whatever they steal. In December last year, we arrested 2 Colombian nationals following a 2-year investigation into a residential burglary in Palm Coast that occurred in 2023. And after a DNA match, we were able to arrest him. He was still in this country 2 years later, and he had done burglaries. How did we get him? Because he had been arrested previously for a crime that allowed law enforcement to take his DNA, but he was still here in this country. Following a 9-month investigation, we arrested a Colombian man for burglarizing a Palm Coast residence. This man had re-entered the country illegally, and we found him still in the United States who had done this burglary. In November of last year, a Guatemala citizen was found to be in the U.S. illegally following a DUI arrest. Thankfully, a deputy stopped him before he killed someone or injured an innocent person because he was driving drunk on our roads in this country. And then just last August, we arrested an illegal Russian national living in Palm Coast on credit card fraud. These are just a few of the cases that we've had and why we really appreciate the partnership and the support by the state and our CFO. And let me tell you, unlike what you see in some cities and counties across the country, the Flagler County Sheriff's Office will always work with our federal partners, will always work with ICE to identify and arrest criminals who enter our country illegally and commit crime. Bottom line, you come to Flagler County, you commit a crime, expect to be arrested, and if you're illegal, we're going to turn you over to ICE. And this grant, frankly, makes that possible. So, thank you very much.
Next up, Daytona Beach Police Chief Jakari Young. Chief?
Thank you, sir. Good morning. So I knew the sheriff was speaking on behalf of Volusia County, so I did not prepare a speech this morning. But I again just wanted to take this opportunity to thank our great CFO for the reimbursement funding and ultimately the great state of Florida. I also want to recognize several of my team members who are here that are off camera because they are the ones that truly do the work, that make me look good, that make the city of Daytona Beach look good. They are the ones that when 287G came out, there was no mandate needed. My folks willingly volunteered to be a part of this effort. So I just want to take this opportunity to thank my team members in the back. Again, thank you, CFO, and thank you to the great state of Florida.
Again, thank you for everything that you do, and for the other law enforcement brothers, sisters in the room, thank you on behalf of the state of Florida. More than willing to answer some questions from the press if you guys have any questions. Any?
How many,
Which outlet are you at?
yes, of the Daytona Beach News Journal.
Sure.
Do you have an estimate on how many people have been deported or detained in Volusia and Flagler counties since 2025?
That I don't know. I don't know if do you guys have any record of information how many have been detained?
We couldn't give you the answer on deported.
We can get it. I'm sure they can
give
get
you the
it.
answer on deported. We can tell you.
Right, actually, that's a good point, detained, because we don't know who has been deported yet.
How many of these people are violent criminals, or what kind of crimes are they committing?
Does it matter if you're a violent criminal or a criminal? Does it matter to the victim? Absolutely. But for the purposes of what we're doing, it doesn't matter if you are an illegal alien and you are in the United States and you are breaking the law and you're in the state of Florida, expect to go to jail and expect to be deported.
How are local law enforcement working with ICE? Is it just for, if you pull somebody over and they committed a crime and they're not undocumented, then you bring them in?
First of all, they're not undocumented, they are illegal. Let's get that straight. Undocumented is a nice way of saying that they're breaking our laws.
How are local law enforcement working?
It's a process question. You guys want to answer a process
I
question?
don't answer questions from the News Journal, you can see why.
Okay, all right. So with that, next question. Yes, sir.
Participating in raids? Are you?
Who's the next question?
Yes.
From Spectrum News here, just a quick point of clarification, you talked about the Halo law.
Yes.
Is that going to be something you're going to look to implement for the legislative session, or you mentioned a committee meeting, just looking for more information?
Yeah, so we have a bill that's filed. One of my priorities to further crack down on illegal immigration in the state of Florida. So we filed a bill, Representative Schock in the House, Senator Martin in the Senate. That is actually moving through the committee process. So after what happened in Minnesota and Minneapolis in particular, and seeing how you had activists basically in the face of ICE agents trying to rid the country of criminal aliens, we said that we have to do something here in the state of Florida to make sure that we show our federal partners that we are going to protect them as well. So the HALO Act currently right now only protects by the letter of the law any law enforcement that is connected with the political subdivision here in the state of Florida. It does not capture federal. So our plan is to amend our bill at the next stop and make sure that if they are conducting raids or investigations in connection to an illegal immigrant, that they have the same protections as our local law enforcement has.
Are you doing anything to make sure that people are being treated humanely once they're detained?
Okay. Sheriff, now I understand why.
There you go. Of course, don't make it up, no matter what you answer, they'll say you said something, so.
You want to talk about humane? Let's talk about the drug cartels that are human smuggling and making billions of dollars smuggling the people over from Mexico into the United States. You want to talk about humane and what's humane and what is not humane? I would say humane is making sure that they have a process in place where we treat them with respect and send them back. What is not humane is what the drug cartels are doing when you have young children being raped on the way over to this country and then in this country by criminal aliens. If you want to talk about humane, this is the United States of America. If you want to come here, come legally. Do not enrich the drug cartels while you're doing it. Sheriff, I agree with you. Last question for that outlet. Any other questions? Any other questions?
Can I ask an unrelated question?
Sure.
Daytona Beach is just weeks away from a state audit. Do you have any message to the city?
Who is doing that state audit?
The Auditor General's office?
No. Well, first of all, if the Auditor General's office is not doing, if they are doing something in conjunction with the state audit that is not done by our office, I think we would want to know what is in the state audit. I think it would be very telling. But look, as far as auditing and local government is concerned, I want to make sure that our local governments are being as fiscally responsible with our dollars. I'm sure you saw that we just announced arrests where people were using state dollars, trying to enrich themselves. Now, do I think anything is done nefariously with some of these locals? I don't know, but I will tell you this. I don't care if it's state government. I don't care if it's local government. If you were going to steal taxpayer dollars, your ass is going to jail in the state of Florida. One final comment, I just want to bring this up while I close this out, is regarding immigration. Regarding immigration, you know, I know that there is a lot of talk about amnesty these days. In fact, I think there are some proposals floating around the federal government granting amnesty to a lot of the illegal immigrants that have come over, especially during the Biden administration. Bad idea. I am 1,000% against that. And here's the reason why. Is that we've been tricked before. We've been down this road before with giving illegal immigrants amnesty in this country. And that was 1986, Ronald Reagan, ICRA, I forgot what ICRA stands for, Immigration Custom Reinforcement Act or something, Reform Act, something like that. But I am absolutely against giving amnesty to people who have come over, broken our laws, come over here illegally. Because what did we learn the last time we gave amnesty? Is that amnesty came, enforcement never happened, and it actually turned into a magnet for more illegal immigration to come over. So that was done in 1986. Ronald Reagan was promised in exchange for amnesty that we were going to have better enforcement. Not only did better illegal enforcement not come, but they actually loosened the laws over time. So what happened, more and more illegal immigration was effectuated and happened from that. If you give amnesty to almost 20 million illegal immigrants in the United States right now, you know what's going to happen? You are going to have more and more and more illegal immigration in the next 20 or 30 years, because they know at some point that the United States is going to bend and they're going to offer amnesty again. I say not only no, but hell no. We need to make sure that we put our foot down. We do not reward bad behavior and amnesty. Giving amnesty to illegal immigrants who are here in the country illegally is just a bad idea. Guys, thank you for being here this afternoon. Thank you to our law enforcement partners.
I've asked it.